Hello, I'm Wendy Wilson, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Realizing Potential. I'm excited. It's been a while since we've had an opportunity to engage, and so it's my pleasure to introduce someone who is just committed to the community, and she's doing that or demonstrating that through the form of an amazing publication that she's going to share a little bit about and show you how you can certainly access that. Dr. Kuanita Murphy, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
Good, good, good. Tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your educational pursuits, and what then will segue into what you're currently doing with this amazing publication.
All right, well, thank you so much for this opportunity. I am a small town girl. I am from Randolph County, Georgia, a little town called Cuthbert,
Yeah,
about 45 miles west of Albany. I frequent Albany so much, it's kind of like my second home, so to speak.
sure.
I'm born and raised here, family ties, to the community. So it's a place very dear and near to my heart. I can say that the work that I've been doing for the past 23 years, serving the community in a nonprofit organization called Family Connection, which is a part of the Georgia Family Connection Partnership based out of Atlanta, Georgia. When I took this position about 20 something years ago, I can say I didn't see myself actually doing the work. I told my 23, 24-year-old self, I'm just going to do this for a little while and I'm out of here. And as you know, Dr. Wilson, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, make plans. So that worked out 23 years. This is my 23rd year. I am here doing community service work. I have a background in art. I have a background in history. And finally, I have a doctorate of management and organizational leadership. I'm one of those people who kind of like to, go with the flow kind of thing. When I initially went off to Valdosta State University, the first year it became a university in 93, actually. I think I wanted to be a computer science major of some sort. And that lasted about a quarter. I think our professor at the time gave us an assignment to compute the quadratic formula. And that was my cue to exit stage left at that time. So I had no clue. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I just happened to, be walking down the halls of Valdosta State University and I saw a pamphlet for art. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And so the rest is history. So I pursued a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. Of course, my parents were like, what are you going to do with this? This rural town, their mindset is, we sent you to school to get, some
Yes,
kind of skill that you could get
so you can get a
employed.
job that pays your bills.
Yeah, that. So, but I was like, no, I just feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So they just left me alone to my own devices. That, panned out. I graduated in 97, went back in 2001, I believe, to Valdosta State University as well, and pursued a Master of Arts in History. And all of it I found works together for me. I like creating things and I like understanding the context of things. And so I find that I still use that in my community work. If anybody is familiar with nonprofit work, you have very little resources and you have to be creative and kind of a jack of all trades. And so I've been using those degrees quite well
Well,
throughout the
that's
years.
good. Well, thank you for being very transparent in terms of how you embarked upon your undergraduate pursuits and then transitioning to a terminal degree. So you reminded me of a young man I heard this morning. I was listening to the news, and there's a woman who, in that small group of individuals, she's out in Silicon Valley or was African American woman, and we know women in the STEM field that those numbers are dismally low. So she's trying to counter that and connect with young people in her home. I think she's from Brooklyn, New York. But they were interviewing a young man who is partaking in her this program that she has, really enriching program, introducing the STEM fields to students. And this young man rattled off that when they asked him, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" He said, and I know I'm not exaggerating. He said, "I want to be a soccer coach, a football coach. I want to go into the STEM fields. I want to be a rocket scientist. I want to be an artist." He named after about 6 things, and I loved his energy. I don't know where we lose that as we grow. And I
Yeah,
said, and it's just a matter of committing to it. We can
yeah,
do all of those things.
yes.
So you sharing that, you started off in one major, and I was like that too. I went off to Southern University, didn't ultimately graduate from there, but I was going to be an accounting major till I made it to intermediate accounting, and I'm like, "Yep,
Yeah.
this is not my calling. This is not my calling." So college is a discovery process.
Yes.
And we have heard that so many times, our parents like, "You need to get a major." Yeah. My daughter's in a similar situation. She graduated from Spelman, degree in English. And when she first told me, I'm like, "What you gonna do with the English?" Now she's in finance. But it does work together, and you
It does.
do whatever your major, institutions are responsible for providing you with those core skills and
Mhm,
that curriculum that will help you to navigate any particular space.
mhm.
And so I love that you said you're a jack of all trades, and all of those things have melded together and have allowed you or positioned you to be successful in the arena that you're in right now, which
Mhm,
is a nonprofit.
yes,
Yeah.
and just adding in, I'm just, a woman of faith, and I just believe that, we walk by faith and not by sight. And you just have to march to the beat of your own drum. And your calling wasn't a conference call. I believe I heard that saying before. So you just have to be true to yourself. And so that will look a little different to everybody and for everybody. And you have to be okay with that. And but basically following your heart, and it will all work out. And not that it'll be easy or has been easy, but it's been worth it, so forth, because, I feel fulfilled. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, you
I
know.
love that.
So
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's so important, feeling fulfilled. How many people do we know and they go into this robotic mode? They're not
Mhm.
excited about what they do. They know it's not their calling, but they just get caught up in, I gotta pay the bills. And so
Yes.
that's essentially important. We only do this life one time that we're
Yes.
aware of. Yeah, I'd be remiss. We've got to do a shout out to, you mentioned nonprofit. And so we both know this amazing woman who is CEO of
Yes.
United Way.
Yes.
Yes, Miss Shanae Motley. I just absolutely
Yes.
love and adore her. And so I'm honored that she made this connection. So before we actually talk about the publication, let's talk about what it is you do in the nonprofit space and the
Mhm.
intentional impact that you're trying to make with the community.
Okay, awesome. Yes, what we do, or my role, is to have a neutral place for our community leaders to come together and address and resolve any unique issues that are going on in our community. As you know, we live in a high poverty area, so we have a gamut of different issues. Maybe similar to neighboring communities, but on a smaller scale. We deal with poverty, job security, food security, those type things. And so my role has been to be a unifier, so to speak, to get all those different sectors together, to come in a neutral area to see if we can compile or combine resources to address issues or create different um, programs or services to fill in the gap. So that is what I enjoy, doing in that role. So I have to, kind of walk a little, tight little rope. We're non-political in what we do. So, I'm just, like I said, the neutral person that, kind of, can we all just work together? Can we just get along? And, try to keep everybody focused on what the goal is, and which is improving the quality of life for the citizens in the community. And if we can put aside personal differences or political affiliations, those types of things, we can have a better community. And so I call it like, tiptoeing on spider web sometimes, because I have to be very careful as to, what it looks like if I'm aligning with this group or aligning with that group. And being in a small community, I understand that it's very difficult sometimes for us to distinguish between someone's personal view and professional. And so we get those lines blurred, and it's like, well, I can't work with her because she's over here with ABC group, or she's over here with this group. And so I understand that. And so I try to operate in that too. I know as long as I'm in this capacity, this role, I got to be seen as that neutral unifying force.
That's great. You would think that you wouldn't have to take that approach, because
Yeah.
at the core, the essence is trying to improve the conditions
Yeah.
of so many people who are marginalized, underserved. We
Mhm.
could, rattle off the list, and who are just trying to live a life where basic necessities are not something that they have to work so hard to secure and
Mhm.
incorporate into their lives.
Yes. Yes.
So that, coupled with, all these different factions fighting about how, or making an issue about how we're going to approach that, when we
Mhm.
it's easy to lose sight of what it is that we're trying to address. So thank you for serving in that role. I know it is not easy.
Yes, very challenging. And,
Yeah,
we're in the South, and, there are just, different underlying currents that you have to be aware of,
that's
and,
right.
and have to navigate that. So,
Yeah,
it on the outside, it looks very easy, but it's very
I know.
challenging to do that.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned the South. I was reminded, one of my favorite quotes by Malcolm X is, anything below the Canadian border is the South. And so those
We're
challenges,
like further than that.
yeah, they're so pervasive. It doesn't matter what side of the country you're on. It's some type of
Yeah,
politics that are, getting in the way of,
yeah.
look, let's stay focused on the goal at hand. So thank you for that. I know, again, as I said, it's a challenge, and your commitment is welcome, and certainly greatly appreciated.
Mhm.
So I don't know, that's a lot. You do that on a daily basis. And then you said, I really want to focus on a publication to highlight and showcase. So
Yes.
when you find time, I'm assuming you don't sleep, but
I tell you, it's just, God's grace and his anointing, when he gives you a gift or a passion for a thing, he
Mhm.
allows you to be able to operate in that fully. So I attribute that all to him. In 2007, I decided, well, I'm bored and I need to go back to school. And I went through the University of Phoenix. It took about several years. It was a very rigorous course, life happens, all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
There again, I was kind of on the fence as to what my dissertation was going to be. And, if anybody, well, the doctoral programs are very rigorous, and I'm just like, I just survived the coursework. If I could just get through that, then I'll think about whatever I'm supposed to be doing for the dissertation. And so I had picked some topic. I can't even remember what it was. I think it was something dealing with emotional intelligence and some organization. And I was like, yeah, that'll be easy. I can get that done. Well, as Murphy's Law would have it and chance would have it, I met resistance, with that organization. They didn't kind of want to do it. And I was just like, okay, this is a sign. I maybe need to do something else. And I had already did chapter 1 and 2.
Mm.
I was just so sure that this group was just gonna, embrace the study, da, 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 da. And that wasn't the case. And then I was like, well, Lord, what am I gonna do? And I was like, I need to ditch this and start over. And of course, my committee was like, "Are you crazy?
Yeah.
You can get around this. You could do." I was like, "No, I just really feel like in my gut, I need to go in another direction." Long story short, against their advice, thank God they didn't quit on me. Nothing happened. But I was like, I want to do leadership. I'm going to do something on, leadership in rural communities. So I did a study on the 6 counties in Southwest Georgia, rural counties, um, looking at their leadership in that community, seeing what their needs and their patterns were. And from that study, it was a phenomenological study. There were different things that were, surfacing about having a specific place where they could, showcase their work or tell what they have going on or have a spotlight, so to speak. It's kind of like being in a small community, you're kind of under the radar. I've noticed, some of the larger publications focus on some of the larger areas, and the smaller communities are sometimes, overlooked, so to speak. And so that was where I got the idea for Rural Leader Magazine. That was where that was birthed from. I was like, what if I created a digital publication that showcased the great things going on in these small communities and the great talent that's there?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what am I gonna, how am I gonna have no background in this? Have nothing. So it's basically like I was just starting from zero again. And it's like, well, okay, well, God has given me this idea, so he'll show me what to do. And pretty much he gave me a concept. And one of the concept was Rule Leader 40 Under 40. And one of the magazines that I really, really admire is Georgia Trend Magazine. And I love their 40 Under 40 issue. I just think it's
Yeah.
well done. I think they're a nice business, magazine, something that I aspire to, make Rural Leader Magazine on a smaller scale, maybe. Um, and I was like, well, they do Georgia. I could incorporate 3 states. So we have Alabama, we have Georgia, and Florida that are recognized annually in the 40 Under 40 honors.
Excellent.
And how it works is, of course, they submit their resume, all that other great stuff. The top 4 are featured on the cover, and the winner is announced at the honors luncheon. And I have been doing this about 8 years now. Had no clue what we were doing, just out there on a ring and a prayer. But the response was phenomenal when I first did this in 2014. And I was just amazed. I knew it was there, but I was amazed to see a cohort of talent all in one place. And this is like, look at this, the wide range of expertise and leadership that we have that are from these small rural communities.
Yes.
And that's how we got started, with the 40 Under 40, and that birthed into other things that we have. We will have our luncheon this year. It will be on Friday, August the 26th, at the Kirkland Conference Center at Albany Technical College. So
Okay.
we're very excited about that. We have, I think, 2 top 4 that are from Alabama and 2 that are from Georgia. And so we're just very excited about the talent and expertise that these young folks exhibit. But they're from these small communities throughout Georgia, Florida, and Alabama.
Excellent. So a couple things I want to applaud you for. So let's go back to that dissertation quickly. If you completed that lit review and then changed, look, rose petals at your feet. I thought I was,
Right.
yeah. There are a couple nightmares associated with my dissertation process. Overall, I had a really amazing committee too. So that's super important.
Yeah.
But that lit review
Yes.
is that's a pivotal point. That's the
Yeah.
make or break. So the fact that you stopped and started
Yeah.
a whole nother one, you're you're a rock star. Geez. Yeah. I
I
just
just
would have
have
made it
to,
work.
feel it, and that has worked well for me, and
Okay.
to follow my intuition,
Yeah,
my instinct, and if something doesn't feel right, I don't try to press it, so to speak. Because if I
that's
would,
beautiful.
it's not going to
That's
work. It's not going to
yeah,
work.
that's beautiful. And you're so right. You're absolutely right. But
Yeah,
ooh,
it,
okay.
it was a lot of work, and it
My
was just
God.
like, but it was so worth it because
Yeah,
I came into these other ideas.
sure.
And had I stayed on that course, I would have completed the assignment, but would, I be in this,
I know
at,
you would not have this amazing publication now and showcasing all these people. I get it. I just need to
yeah,
acknowledge that
yes, you,
yeah, okay.
it's a
So
lot.
that's oh my gosh. So that's the one piece. The other thing that I really applaud you, and I have a really dear friend of mine, and she also produces a magazine, Indigo Life. She's out of Dr. Alicia Ritchie, and
Mhm.
she does it in the Crisp County region. And have worked with her on a couple different projects, and every time it's a new publication, in my head, because it's not Wendy's passion, so I don't ever want to project it on anyone. But I'm like,
Yeah,
all of this work, and then
it
when
is.
you get it, you're like, I get why you put all this your blood, sweat, and tears in it. It is certainly, and let's place great emphasis on labor of
Yeah,
love. It because
yes.
it does require a lot of work, resources. Yeah, so hats off to you. So I'm excited. But again, the end product is to highlight, as you said earlier, the great things that happen in rural and small communities on a daily basis.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
when you run across those people who are like, oh my gosh, all of that is happening in that
Yeah.
county, absolutely. And you've expanded it, so you're across states.
Hmm.
Where these individuals may not otherwise get the attention that they deserve, here
Hmm.
you are putting a spotlight on it. So I thank you for that. So I don't want to miss this point. You said on August, share the
The
date again,
26th.
the
Yeah, August the
26th.
26th, at Albany Technical College Kirkland Conference Center, and
Great.
at 11
Okay,
a.m.
great.
Yeah.
Now, can the public attend this event? Where can they,
Yes.
if so, where can they purchase tickets? What's the point of contact?
Yes, they can go to ruralleadermag.com, and also they can go to our Facebook page. We are all over social media, Rural Leader Magazine, 40 Under 40 and Leader Magazine. And there are links to the eventbrite.com website where you can purchase a ticket for a nominal cost. And like I said, we'd love to have the community come and be a part of that. And we're just excited to be back out again, having a in-person event.
Mhm.
Last year we had a virtual acknowledgement. 2020, unfortunately, we didn't know what was going on, so we just kind of tabled it. I think as
None
the
of
world
us
stood
did.
still, the world stood still,
None
and
of us
so
knew what we were doing in
yeah,
2020.
it's just like
Woo!
so.
Yeah,
2021, we did a little virtual thing, and fingers crossed, everything will go well, and we'll be
it
able to.
will. It
So
will. It will. And we'll have that. The producer will actually get that information up for those that missed that. Is there also an opportunity? How often does the publication come out? Where can we purchase that and access that?
it comes out monthly, and
Okay.
the September issue will be the 40 under 40 feature issue. And also, you can go to ruralleadermagazine.com, and there's a link there where you could, purchase that issue, and everything is digital, all the way. So you can take it on your phone or whatever. That's the new move that we're in.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll graduate and be able to do some prints in the past, in the future. But right now it's strictly digital, but you can access that through our website.
That's good. I'm still evolving, and so I'm so old school. I want a
We'll have to
book.
get
I
you a
want a
special
magazine.
copy. We'll have to get you a special
Yeah,
copy. We'll do
I'm
that.
getting there. I'm getting there. Boy,
That
it's
that is what I've been, I've learned throughout this whole process is just, we are in an age of information and technology, and it's about adapting, just being able to quickly, adapt to the environment, to the times and things of that nature. We we appreciate the old way as well, but we gotta, stay in the, innovation. And if I may add, one of the
Sure.
things that I really wanted the honorees to remember or to know is that what they do matters, and that's like kind of my little tagline or motto, because often um, I, I've realized personally, even in a small community, you can work and labor, and sometimes it doesn't seem like it's valued or appreciated, and or you're not acknowledging. Not that you're doing a work to be acknowledged, but it's just nice as human nature every now and then to say, Dr. Wilson, you're the bomb.com. You're doing an excellent job. What
Absolutely.
you do matters at Albany State University. And so that is the message that I would like to send to all the honorees and to the individuals is, they make a difference in small town America. They make a difference every day, utilizing their talent, their pool, everything that they have going on. They make a difference. And so the magazine has turned into like a ministry, so to speak, to uplift and to encourage others that are in these small communities who are doing phenomenal things. And
Yes.
so it's an opportunity just for them to showcase to the world what they're doing and their talent and their talent. So it's a platform for them.
It is. That's so important. And we do on a daily basis to affirm ourselves and the work that we
Mhm.
do. But to hear it from somebody else is just it heightens
Mhm.
that level of gratification.
It
Before
does.
we wrap up, and we'll share again the dates and how individuals can access. I'm curious,
Mhm.
um, what book has most impacted your life outside of your preferred religious text that you find yourself going back to?
Any work that is tied to Rick Warren with about leadership and service.
Okay.
And one of the things that I found myself doing is, serving others. That is where I feel the most fulfilled. I feel that God has given me a and using the country term, a slew of talents, to be utilized. And, he gives us to be able to serve others, and to whom much is given, much is required. And so I have to remind myself sometimes, why I do what I do. Just being human as anyone else, it can be tiring when you're constantly pouring out. And so that resources, and the work of Dr. Rick Warren helps to refill my cup and to know the value and importance of serving others and living a life that has purpose and meaning aside from myself. So hopefully the dash in between, will have some meaning, one day. In other words, leaving a legacy of, serving others above self.
Well, you are certainly doing that. And so thank you for your servant leadership and exemplifying what servant leadership looks like and having a passion and following all of your passions. We'll
Yes.
have you back and tell us about that light in the your life in the art world. I'd love to hear
I would
that.
love to do that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. Now I'm just a collector of art. I still doing stick figures when somebody asks you to draw. So I collect and that's where my passion, one of my passions lies. So I would love to have you back. Have to
Awesome.
connect you with our colleagues in our fine arts department. Couple came to mind. Hopefully, some collaborations can
Awesome.
manifest. Yeah, Dr.
I,
Elizabeth, Nancy, and Dan. So anyway, we will do that once we wrap this up. But
sure.
before we officially wrap up this show, and I've enjoyed your this conversation immensely. Again, share the date, points of contact about this, what I know will be a wonderful luncheon and recognizing these amazing individuals.
Okay, awesome. Again, it's the eighth annual Rule Leader Magazine's 40 Under 40 Honors Luncheon. It will be on Friday, August the 26th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Kirkland Conference Center, Albany Technical College. You can go to the website at ruleleadermag.com for additional information and links to the website and tickets.
Great. Dr. Murphy, it's been a pleasure having you
Yes,
on.
thank
Reach out
you.
anytime when you want to,
Oh,
again, showcase the amazing work that you are doing. And
awesome.
I thank you on behalf of uh, the Southern region, below the Canadian border, all that you do
I love it.
to
I love
highlight
it.
amazing individuals and affirming the great work that they do on a daily basis. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity, and hopefully we can do it again soon.
I look forward to it. That's a definite.
Okay,
You-
awesome.
Good deal. Viewers, thank you so much for joining me for this edition of Realizing Potential. I'm Wendy Wilson, and I look forward to seeing you next time.